All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Marketing Matters. I'm Sarah Touchstone, Landmark Title's social media marketing strategist and educator. I get to bring you Marketing Matters every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Rain, shine, sleet, whatever's going on, we are here for you guys. Quick reminder, too, that we have 126 of these episodes recorded on our YouTube channel. So if you need to hop off early, or you want to go back and check out this recording and many of our others, it is on the Landmark Title Assurance Agency YouTube channel. All right, I am joined today by JT Taylor. He is a powerhouse up in the Reno, Nevada area. He is a mentor, a coach. He helps young agents, sometimes probably even experienced agents, really get to that next level. I had the pleasure of talking with him last week, and it kind of got, he was telling me all the things he does. And I was like, JT, is there anything that you don't do for agents in this industry? And we decided, yeah, exactly. We decided to focus on database, building your database around your niche. Because it really is important. For those of you that were on earlier, you heard my spiel. So I'm going to bring on JT. We're going to go ahead and talk all about the good stuff.
Awesome, Sarah. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here today, and I'm super excited to talk about one of the things that I believe it has to be the focus for real estate agents today. The market shifted, the economy is shifted, and the one constant, in my opinion, is the relationships you have and the opportunity to build more relationships through that. And we call that the database. I mean, the company I work for, no name drops here, I guess. You guys can read the pin. Calls it a data bank, because it is the flow of money into your world from a real estate standpoint. That's how passionate I am about it.
Yes, and you can say that you're with KW, JT. We actually have a lot of wonderful KW partners on here, and KW really does what's the word I'm looking for? Encourage the use of a lot of their systems, and systems are what's going to propel you into taking your real estate business to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, they wrote the book on it, right? And it all through here, it talks about how to build that database. I really, I'd love to chat with you about your thoughts around how to be relevant to the database. And I think this is one of those conversations that I think, as I talk with a lot of top agents, first of all, many people, and maybe you're finding this as well, Sarah, don't really understand the gravity and the value of their database. And I actually mean like the monetary value of the database. And for those that are out there, do you know that your database is the only asset, the actually tangible asset that you can actually sell at the end of your real estate career? And there are companies that will buy it. They'll evaluate it through a couple of different ways, but one of the ways is they'll actually call everybody in the database, Sarah, and this is what they say. Ring, ring. Hey, Sarah, I'm an evaluator for databases, and actually I was curious, I had a question. Who would you use if you had to hire a real estate agent in the next 90 days to 180 days? Who would you use? And if you don't instantly say the person that they're trying to buy the database from, then that database is worth less money.
Yep.
Right? So could your database say that? Actually, a better question, Sarah, I ask a lot of my agents or agents that I'm interested in getting into business with. When was the last time people in your phone were touched from a phone call or a text message or an email? Has it been more than 90 days?
A lot of times it is.
Crickets, and it is, right? So I'd love to have a conversation around, how do we really get purposeful about the database and make it not salesy, but coming from contribution.
Yeah. Well, I know for me, I love categorizing everybody in my database.
Sure.
Nobody gets entered into my database without me knowing obviously where I got the contact from, but then I also use categories and tags about interests. So if this person, we had a conversation, they love golfing, they love hiking, they love, they've got kids, all of these things, they've got high schoolers. I would even go further, I would meet people from my community. Do their kids go to the same high school as my kids? All of this information is not just going to go in the notes within my CRM. It's going to be categorized so that when I pull up information on that person, I know, or if say there's, the Waste Management Open is coming into town and I want to specifically touch everybody in my database who's interested in golf. I need a quick way so that I can pull up the information on everyone and I can touch those people on a regular basis with something that is actually relevant, not just a blasted email. So for me, JT, that's number one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think being able to categorize is so important. I do the same thing when I meet agents. So my main role is to consult agents on how to move their business from where it's at to where they want it to be and break through ceilings, right? And a lot of times when we sit down, I say, well, talk to me about your niche. Well, what are you passionate about? And there's an agent group in our office, and they are passionate about supporting seniors through the challenges that they experience as they retire. And we're talking about everything that doesn't have to do with real estate. And they get into relationship with senior care facilities for medical, for any sort of mobility, any sort of health, and maybe it's recreation. And they bring these resources in. And so they have about a 15 seminar year that they have booked out on a little card that they actually give out to the senior community. And it's just talking about everything that they're going to have a challenge with, right? So how do you give back to your community? I love that you said, you've got events. Well, what are your events? Do you client appreciation events? Do you have community events? Do you support schools? Do you support your neighborhood? Do you support local businesses? And then how do you convey that information to your database in a way that is just like, hey, I just wanted to share something amazing with you about what's happening in the community because I know you're passionate about golf or restaurants or giving back to kids or coaching or whatever it is, right, Sarah? So yep. I think, when we're coming from contribution, if you were to take anything away from today, your database wants you to contribute to their lives in a positive way, which means you got to find out what's important to them. So we got to have conversations. And then we got to be able to say, okay, tag, love that you said tag, right? And then when I'm on the hunt, I'm constantly on the hunt for items of value or places or things that I can go back to that person and say, hey, I totally thought about you, Sarah. Yes. And I heard about this thing that I thought that might help you because I know you said da 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 da. And now all of a sudden it's not like, hey, Sarah, do you want to buy, sell, and invest in real estate?
Who do you know who's looking to buy or sell?
Yeah.
Have this off your conversation.
Every 30 days. How many times can you say that on the telephone, right? And not feel weird, So I think that's really what it comes down to. Here's what I've started to formulate in my mind with my agents and the people that I consult with is growing your real estate business is not a sprint. I believe it's not even a marathon. Hopefully you'll be doing it for a long time. I think it's a relay race. Mm-hmm. See, you're passing things along to the people that you want to contribute to, right? You're finding it, you're relaying that to those people that eventually are going to do real estate with you. You stay in contact long enough and you feel like, you're contributing to them. And it's a relay race. So I want you to think about every conversation, every interaction is an opportunity for you to relay that value to the people that are in your world. And the people that are in your world provide you value that you can relay to the people that you're meeting, right? So let's think about it like a relay race.
Yeah, I love the term, the source of the source.
Yeah, right. I don't remember the book I read, but the guy, it's called Give and Take, and awesome book. And the gentleman who wrote the book chronicled a bunch of people that gave, a bunch of people that took. And the givers and the takers are the most successful, right? They give, but it takes a little while for that influence to be returned. Takers, They're going to get to the top. They're going to be alone, stepping on people's heads. And he says that when you give, you're connector, right? Really, you're looking for somebody that, somebody gives you something and you're just like, how I can give that to somebody else. Right. So I love that you said that.
Absolutely.
So the second thing I think that's super important is a real estate business impacts people. And when you give back to communities that you care about, what does impact look like? I've got a group of agents that they wanted to farm a neighborhood. Now, when you think about farming a neighborhood, awesome, way to build your business, but they took it to like the next level, Sarah. And check this out. They said, okay, we care about a community. We don't just want to farm it. We want to provide resources for everything that happens in the community. So we're going to support the garage sale. So this is what they did. When they had the neighborhood garage sales, do you have those in your neighborhood? Yeah, I think they're awesome. So when they had the garage sales, they would go door knocking and they would say, hey, I'm a local agent. I actually live right down the street and I do real estate in the area, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here. I'm curious. Are you going to be participating in the community garage sale? Yes, no. If they say yes, you go, awesome. What I'd like to do is help support your garage sale. I've got a sign. I've got a bunch of these made up. I'm just going to put it right in your yard. And it says garage sale here. Is that cool?
That's awesome.
Super cool. So I'm going to pop by the day of, and I'm going to be planting these in your yard, and I'll have them all over the neighborhood. So we'll get traffic here for your garage sale. Cool. So drive the neighborhood, door knock the neighborhood. They find all the people, and obviously, what do most people? Hey, do you mind if I'm gonna send you some information? What's your email? What's your phone number? They come back. They put the sign in the yard. They knock on the door. Hey, I got the sign in the yard. Just wanted to say thanks so much. I'm excited about the garage sale. If you need anything, let me know. Day of the garage sale comes up, right? They drive by. Hey, how'd the garage sale go?
Yeah.
Awesome. They actually did even be like in the beginning of the garage sale, they would drop by half a dozen of donuts in the morning. Hey, here's some fuel for you. If you want to give them out, you can. If you want to eat them, awesome. Have a great garage sale. And they would come back and they'd get that sign. Now, how many touches is that? That's like 4 or 5 touches.
Right. For something that's already going on.
Yes.
That is in your neighborhood or the neighborhood that you're farming.
Yeah.
And you are not even having to organize.
You don't even have to do it, right? You're just coming from contribution. And when you impact people like that, guess what they want to do? Like the law of reciprocation states that they're going to want to give back to you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You brought me a sign. You checked in on me. You brought me donuts. You came back and asked me how everything went. Now, when you go door knock that neighborhood again, guess what?
I remember.
They know you.
Yeah.
They know you because the next time you come by, this is what this group did. The next time they came by, they said, hey, we're doing an event at the park, the local park. And we're going to have all of the local restaurants, they're bringing their food. And we're going to have a cornhole competition. And it's for charity because we're going to give back to the school in our neighborhood the money that we've raised so it can support the sports or the athletics or the whatever at the school, the local elementary, which guess what? By the way, chances are their kids go to.
Yep.
So you see how this community give back. I mean, when you start to impact people, Sarah, all of a sudden, real estate becomes an attraction business as opposed to like a hunt and peck and try to get business. Yep. And that seems like a better way to do it. Yeah.
Oh, much better. And it's more fun. Honestly, you don't get burnt out when you're serving. You get burnt out when you're trying to maybe cold call or you're trying to create, another email drip campaign, or you're just going round and round with, your buyers and nothing is working out. For the majority of people that are extroverts and super social, this is why they got into real estate. Real estate license is a license to socialize. These type of community events and community centric things are what is, for the majority of realtors out there, it's going to actually energize you and keep you excited about your business.
You are 100% right, Sarah, and that's what this business is about, right? And I would say on the coattails of that, what's the legacy that your real estate business is going to leave? Yeah. That's the question I ask a lot of people. And if you don't really think about this, right, oftentimes we can get into the weeds. I'm just going to make my calls every day, which, hey, make your calls every day. There's a job to do. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes we need to think about the end in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And I want real estate agents to think, what's the legacy that I'm going to be leaving when my business gets to the point where I'm ready to step back? And, have I contributed to communities, or does my niche benefit, and are they better because I was in their world and I brought value to them, right? And if you don't make this work, you're going to look back and you're going to wonder what could have happened, right? Question is, are you leaving it all on the table every day? Are you figuring out ways to give everything you can to the community that you're passionate about? And when you do, that's called a legacy. And you think about some of the major icons that have left legacies, right? Martin Luther King Jr., Abraham Lincoln, right? These major impactors in our world. And those are just like two that just instantly came to my mind. You guys probably have people that you think about have left a legacy. There's people in your life, Sarah, that have probably left a legacy, right? What if they chose not to? What if they just chose to play halfway in, right? Instead of all in. And it's easy to come up with things in our mind, reasons why we can't, or, distractions. Anybody like running their real estate business and get distracted? Let me ask a question for those agents that are out there. How long have you been working on that listing presentation or that flyer for your open house, right? Like, what if you spent that same amount of time thinking about, how could I provide amazing value to the people that I have? And you got to be willing to move it forward, Sarah. This is the key.
Absolutely.
You got to be willing to take what it is that you're passionate about and move it forward. And you can't allow yourself to be corralled by other people's expectations, especially if it's in conflict with your goals. Like, if you want to accomplish something, you're passionate about it, like, just move it forward. And, I love what Ed Mylett says is just one more. Just The Power of One More. If you have not read that book, oh my goodness, he actually did the keynote speech for Family Reunion last year for Keller Williams. There wasn't a dry eye. The story was so impactful. And if you have a way to go and watch that, I'll tell you what, you'll realize that he is the epitome of just one more. Just move it forward, right? And how powerful that is. And then I would say, Sarah, I don't know how much time we have. I'm just rolling here. This is freaking awesome. I would say blow up your exit strategy. That's scary. But how many people have a plan B? Like, pretty much everybody. Some of you have like an A and a B and a C and a D and an A. You have a lot of plans. And you're like, okay, I'm going to make sure this happens, because what if real estate doesn't work out for me? What if I'm just going to say, all your planning might be what's holding you back from moving forward and just making the impact that I know you can. I'm going to stand in the gap for you right now and just say, you know what? You have everything it takes to be an amazing agent, to grow an amazing business, to contribute in massive ways to the people that already know you, like you, trust you. Why not just do it?
I like that a lot.
Right?
It's something, I know for me, I'm a super planner. Like, you do not want to go on vacation with me unless you like every single minute of your vacation to have something going on. But sometimes that, all the planning gets in the way, not once we're on there, but there's so much that goes into it. Yeah. Like, what if something happens? What if, like you said, what if this doesn't work out? What if that doesn't work out? There's so much planning that, and the same with our business. There's so much that we sit down and we say, okay, I'm already doing well. I want to build a team. I want to do this. I want to get a new logo. I want to, all of these things. But while you're doing all of these things, are you doing real estate?
That's it. Well, it comes down to this, real estate agents have two problems, Sarah. They either don't have enough leads. So you got to figure out a way to get leads, and your database is the way to do it. It's the cheapest. It's the most effective. You already have a group of people that know you, like you, trust you, like I said. And then once they have enough leads, they have to learn how to convert them. And then once they're converting at a high enough level, now they need leverage. And this is what we're talking about now, right? We just got to get in, connect with our database and our leads, convert those leads into business, and then we can hire the right people. Because there are people that are great at that. And that's their wheelhouse. Right? They want to stay in that world. They're happy with that. We as leaders, as business owners, right? I want you to think about real estate as a business that you own, right? Are you showing up in your business the way that you would expect from somebody who's running $1 million business, right? Because that's the value of your, I do a whole sit down on how to evaluate the value, the tangible monetary value of your database. And a lot of people's database is worth, $500,000. Are you running your business the way a business owner would if they had the value of $1 million or 500,000, right? Yeah. So, and then just get to the point where you can hire somebody to do all the things that we were talking about. So I'm way more on the other side, Sarah. I'm like build the plane while you're flying it, sure. Hey, we need another wing, and I'm like, so blow up your exit strategy and get out there and do some amazing things. Yeah. And sometimes, this is one of the keys to this. Sometimes you have to be willing, Sarah, to move down the ladder, humble, curious, contribution, before you're going to go up the ladder. And a lot of times we want to get ours. I'm just going to say it, right? We want to get ours. And being a servant to the people that you're connected with is so desired, so valuable to those people, because when they see you giving back to the community, giving back to them, it's that law of reciprocity again. And the ability for you to experience the power of a big business is tied directly, in my opinion, to how you serve in your current season. How am I giving back today? Yeah. And I just want agents to really sit down and think about just, spend some thinking time. If you don't have that on your calendar, put that there. First of all, spend some thinking time. Is how could I give back that would impact my community, impact my database? And this is called your value proposition, by the way. You're going to build your value proposition so you can share it. And as you do, you're going to get clear on what is important to you, what you're passionate about, and the people that are already in your life, because you probably have a connection already, right? Most of the people in your world are there because you've connected on something that is like-minded. And so it's difficult to serve in this business, because we can get distracted, we can get busy, we can want a lot, So I think those are probably the most important keys to building a database, and then you got to be in there every day. I have 4 laws to the database. You want to hear about it, Sarah?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Law number one is you have to build it. So if you don't have a CRM, or if you don't have somewhere where your database lives, you got to build that. Now, I'll just say this, your phone is not your database. An Excel spreadsheet is not a database, okay? You can't, like you touched on it, you can't put those notes, you can't tag those people, you can't set up automated emails, text messages, reminders to make phone calls, those kind of things. You just can't. So build the database, number one. Number two, you got to feed the database, okay? Every day. What's your lead generation strategies? Maybe it's community events. Maybe it's client appreciation. Maybe it's, a 15 seminar year on how to help somebody with Medicare or long-term disability, right? Whatever that is for you, you've got to add people to it daily, right? Maybe that's open houses. Maybe it is cold calls in the beginning, because you've got to feed it, right? So build it, feed it. Then you got to service the leads, right, that are inside of it, right? So, servicing the leads only comes from communicating to it. So you're going to build it, you're going to feed it, you're going to communicate to it on a daily basis. And then we talked about emails, text messages, phone calls, newsletters, all that stuff. and you're going to service those leads that come out of it. So those are the 4 laws of a database. By the way, I didn't make those. That's straight from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, right? So credit to where credit is due. And but if you do that, when you do that, and you do it with some of the tips that I've shared, all of a sudden, you look up 12 months from now, Sarah, and you've got a business that is not only massive, it's fulfilling.
Yeah.
It's sustainable, right? And you're passing on. Remember, it's not a sprint, it's not a marathon, it's a relay race. You're passing on opportunities because at the end of the day, here's the 2 things that I found every single real estate agent wants. And now I'm open to conjecture. I don't know if there's chat. I don't know if people want to, challenge me on this, but here's what I found. Real estate agents want to learn how to do real estate. And once they do, they want to do more. They want to do more real estate.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they're doing it because they want to build wealth, generational wealth, net worth. They want opportunities. And hopefully, I don't know the answer to this one. I'm just a positive thinker. Hopefully, it's because they want to build that wealth so they can impact lives. Maybe it's just their life and their family's life. Maybe it's the community. Maybe it's, they want to leave a legacy and have 501c3s that they want to open up, right? I don't know, but they got to do real estate so that they can build wealth. And if those 2 things aren't connected, then real estate becomes a job. And I don't know about you, but I got out of that world. I got out of a job, just over broke is what I think it stands for, so that I could actually have something that meant something. Right. And that's what it's all about. And that's what I love talking to agents about and helping them grow in that mindset, getting clear on how to do more so that they can build their wealth. Man, that's an amazing combo.
Yeah, all of the top producing, highly successful agents that I know, that is their number one focus. Yeah. It really is how they are making an impact.
Well, we got to get down here again because, when you take your real estate agent hat off, I'm going to encourage every single agent here to enter into every conversation with their investor hat on initially, right? You're at a listing appointment. Could I buy this? Okay, maybe it doesn't make sense for my box of quantification of whether or not it's a good investment, but could I wholesale it? Could I manage it? Could I convert it to something else, right? Like that's all investor. Then at the end, like at the bottom of that list is like, oh, could I list it? Different mindset, right? Mm-hmm. Different mindset. But you got to have capital, deployable capital in your war chest to be able to say, oh, this could be a good investment property for me, which means you got to do real estate. Yep. Which means you got to build a database, Sarah.
Yeah. It all comes back to that database.
That's it.
It's where your real estate business starts. Yeah. And a lot of times it's where your real estate business ends. It is. That database is, talking with top producers that, when we talk about the end game, what is your end game in this business? What is your exit strategy? Some are going to die doing real estate, but some have recognized that it is their database that is going to be their final exit strategy. The ability to sell that database is incredible. And along the way, yes, it's what's going to feed you.
Right. Yeah, I've got an agent in our office. His name is Dave Norberg. You can look him up. He's a legend in Keller Williams. And he built his business in San Diego. And he built it through database. He built it through mastering his scripts. He did everything you're supposed to. And his story is phenomenal, literally rags to riches. And he built this amazing database. Then he sold it to a friend and takes 25% referrals on anything that comes out of that database. He made over $100,000 a year passively last year, just from the database that he sold to the person that still works it down in San Diego. He lives in Reno with us now, and he earns over $100,000 a year just from the database. And that is what's possible, right? And if you do it right, when you do it right.
Absolutely. JT, amazing having you on. I love your energy. I love everything that we covered today, this really is the heart of your real estate business. We talk a lot about, it's marketing, right? So we talk a lot about different marketing techniques on this webinar, but really it always does come back to your database. And if I had to say, what is the number one area of, agents' business that they neglect, it would probably be the database.
No, you're 100% right. Well, because we find ourselves like we can come in and we'll make calls or grind it out or go to an open house, and we don't realize how valuable a lead that's already in our database is, as opposed to one that we have to go and cultivate. It's kind of like the restaurant. It's so much easier to make a current customer happy with good food and good service than it is to go find a new one. And when you lose one that was happy, now you've really shot yourself in the foot, because they're going to complain, they're going to write bad reviews, and which seems to be the only kind of reviews that are out there, and then you got to go find and win another one. Just work the people that you have now, and just find out how amazing your world can be because of your database currently, and then you'll just start to attract people. So
you do. Awesome, JT. Thank you so much for being on today.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
I'm going to wrap up today with some of the other classes that we have going on. If you guys have any questions while I'm going through these classes, you can utilize the chat or the question and answer window. I imagine everybody's mind is just blown, or everybody is already transitioning and they're getting on their databases right now. All right. Tomorrow we've got ChatGPT and Canva Magic live and in person. This is going to be over at the Keller Williams office in Goodyear from 10 to 12. You do not need to be Keller Williams to attend. It's open to all agents. Right now, we've got about 22 people signed up for it. We've got room for a few more spots. Get signed up, reach out to Patty or Michael, or show up. I'll be there teaching, and I will welcome you with open arms. And then up in Prescott, for those of you that are our Prescott agents, or you want to take a trip to a cooler place, tomorrow, the next in the series of Here Comes the Judge is going to be from 1 to 2 p.m. So head on up and check that out. And then next week, we've got our Arizona real estate series. Quick reminder, we did switch this. This was in person. Now we are doing it on Zoom. We do these every quarter. So definitely get signed up. You can scan the QR code for that. Oh, they're doing Here Comes the Judge at the Willow Creek Inn, just in case anybody wants to head up there. That was for the flyer that I just talked about. So this one is next week. It's on Zoom at 9 a.m. We're going to be talking about freeway and transit. We're going to be bringing in someone from ADOT and the Maricopa Association of Governments. I know you guys drive these roads. I know that you see that they're always under construction. So hop on, ask questions, get the answers. This one is going to be a really, really good one. All right. And then the following week, we're going back to school. Time for summer school. If you guys were on last week and you were here for Deanna Bones' presentation, she's amazing. She really is a wealth of knowledge, and she loves to share her knowledge. So they're going to be doing quick little Zooms this summer, once a month. So June 26th, July 24th, and August 28th. If you would like to sign up for those, this information is only available live. She does not share the recordings. So hop on. If it's one of the topics that interests you, you can attend one. You do not need to attend all. So go ahead and check that out. And then we've got CE coming up. See, summer is a great time to get in your CE credits. So on June 28th, from 1 to 4 p.m. in person at the Atrium at Arrowhead, we're going to be staying out of jeopardy. 3 hours of contract law. If you'd like to register for this, Butch is great. We've had him on some of our Zoom CE classes. He makes these fun and engaging. So Renee is hosting this. You can register with the QR code down there. If you need more information, let me know. And then we've got a GIF happy hour for our West USA agents up in Prescott. This will be at our Landmark Title office up there. This is open to all agents though, so swing on by June 28th. We're gonna be, like I said, happy hour, headshot, GIFs. If you don't know what a GIF is, it's the little animation that you can use on your social media. Super fun, great time, networking. It's gonna be great. On the 28th, head on over to our Prescott office. And then last but certainly not least, speaking of our Prescott agents, the Whiskey Row tours are going to be starting back up July 27th and September 21st. So these are fun, educational. You can invite your clients. So I encourage any of the Prescott agents or any agents here in the Valley that want to head up for a little cooler weather to go and check that out. All right, guys, I think that's it for us today. JT put his contact number in the chat window. So hop on over there and get his number. If you have any other questions, I know that a lot of times we get on these webinars and I'm like, you can ask questions. And sometimes we want to wait until we don't have an audience to ask our questions. So grab his number. Thank you, of course, JT, for coming on today. That was really great stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. Would love to have you back on again because I feel like there's so much knowledge that you can share with us.
Anytime, Sarah, anytime. I'm always excited to help people grow and talk about real estate.
Awesome. That we do. I know I kind of geek out when we're talking real estate. It's a thing. And thank you, of course, to our business development managers, Beth, Becky, Melinda, Mary, Patty, Cynthia, Michelle, Michael, and Renee. They are absolutely amazing to work with. If you guys aren't working with them, let me know. I will introduce you. And then, of course, thank you to Landmark Title for allowing us to bring you Marketing Matters every Wednesday at 10 a.m. We have 7 offices here in the Valley, 1 in Prescott, 2 in the Nevada area to service all of your real estate and title needs. It was a pleasure having JT from the Reno area on today. I love the fact that we have guests from all the areas that we serve. I think it makes such a difference because real estate is the same across the board, but it always has little unique facets to it. And it is wonderful learning from people all over the country where we serve. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.